But in a way, there was something special about Pete and myself. Maybe it was the differences that charged up our like for each other. You always learn something new from somebody who thinks differently, and not dramatically differently, but just different people. We got together often as a matter of rule, whenever we could. During this time that I was struggling with the university, not knowing exactly what next step should be, and I decided not to go back to JJR because 7 years had passed, and I didn't know the new people that well. They didn't know me. They said, "Who's the new guy?" when I walk in. Pete called on some other thing, and we got together. And during this little casual get-together, we said, well, let's try the partnership that we never dared to do, because we always shied away from it for all those funny little reasons. So we figured out a way to do it for a given period of time. We said, let's do 5 years. I was 60 at the time. He was about 60, just a year short. And that would take us to 65 and then see what more was emerging in this crazy world. And we formed a partnership, and I always feel really good about what Pete wanted to do. He sent me the announcement draft, and it said, "Together again." You know, that was good. I went out to California. We set up our new, fresh arrangement, celebrated, had a great deal of fun. One of the major pieces of that next period of time was working in Japan with Pete. Pete was already well known in Japan because they loved his art expressions. And I think one of the first things that Pete and I did together was to go over, and I observed while he opened his exhibition in Tokyo of his work. It was just a wonderful event, and the Japanese were just so kind and so generous with their praise of his thinking and his work, and we did that together, and I got a kick out of that. So we had a great 5 years, and about that time, as that wound down, I was very much anxious to do some things in Seattle area, particularly about boating. I had had a 40-foot sailing catch in the Great Lakes, sailed all the Great Lakes with the kids, grew them up on the boat, and I missed that. So Charlotte and I went up to Seattle and found another boat and spent pretty much 5 years poking around the British Columbia coast and Vancouver and so on. It was a great time.